Welcome to Muddy River News This Week. I'm David Adam. Muddy River News This Week is sponsored by Harvey's Furniture, and I'm pinch hitting for Bob Goff this week, who's pinch hitting for me somewhere else, so I can have a chance to do this interview with the guy to my left, Paul Havermale, with the Veterans Assistance Committee from Adams County. It's brand new, but you're not brand new. You've been around forever. We went to high school.
I was going to say, we're about the same, David.
Yeah, we're about the same, but welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here as always, and I look forward to advancing the cause of the VAC.
So, there are going to be people who go, I've never heard of this before. What's going on? What is this Veterans Assistance Committee? Well, it's because it's brand new. You just got approval for it at the most recent county board meeting. So explain to our viewers and listeners, what is the Veterans Assistance Committee?
The Veterans Assistance Commission is it's established by Illinois state statute. It is actually a requirement for every county to have one if the congressionally chartered veteran service organizations request that of the county. This was attempted a few years ago, and it kind of fell apart for lack of, I don't want to say conviction or anything like that, but it was just kind of a lack of seeing it through to the end, getting it to the finish line. We were able to get that done this time with outstanding support, frankly, from the Adams County Board and all the folks that are involved there. It was a unanimous approval process. They approved our budget request, and it was a very seamless process, and we're very excited to get the VAC going. The mission of the VAC in the counties is to basically be what I like to call the traffic cop for everything veteran in the particular county.
Okay.
So we will hopefully coordinate the efforts of the veteran service organizations such as your American Legion, VFW, Marine Corps League. There are a number of others that are congressionally chartered. And coordinate those efforts, but also be directly plugged into the VA system. And we will act as advocates for a veteran that comes to us to get their VA benefits. And these are benefits that they've already earned. This isn't giving anybody anything. This is getting something that they've earned. We've heard horror stories, and even members of our VAC delegates, one person took 13 years to get his full benefits.
Wow.
We think that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
We have a great veteran service officers out at the Veterans Home. We hope to augment their efforts and expand on that.
So you mentioned that this was just recently attempted and failed, but the fact is that this would seem to be the type of a commission that should have been around a long time ago. Why all of a sudden why did it take so long? Why all of it, how did it finally come to fruition and go, okay, we really do need this now?
The impetus to get this started back up, we did have a concerted effort a few years ago by a group of veteran service organizations, and they just didn't get to the finish line, like I said before. This time around, a number of veteran service organization members were sitting around, VFW, Marine Corps League, American Legion, a number of other ones, and we all seemed to be getting asked for more help more often. The way we help is kind of not really codified. It's kind of hey, we'll help if we can. For instance, like the American Legion, I can speak directly to that. We have people who ask us for some temporary help or minor help. Hey, I'm losing my apartment, I can't make the rent. Can you help me get put up for the night? I need some food to get me through the weekend for my family, whatever. And at that case, it's, like, hey, Paul, can you take care of this at 8 o'clock at night and you didn't know it was coming? Sure. That kind of thing. So it's really not codified, and there's not a way to track that, really. I mean, we track it, of course, but it also digs into some of our other charter points that we try to take care of, which is the youth of the community. The Veterans Home is a big beneficiary of our efforts, as well as just law enforcement and community efforts in general. So when they got together, they decided, the VAC is established by state statute. It's available. Let's look into trying to get this started back up. And we were fortunate enough, with the support of the county board, to bring it over the finish line and get it funded and accepted and approved.
Is the commission can I find one in most Illinois counties? Or what's the number of counties that actually have
There's
these?
45 of them. We will be number 46.
And how many counties? Was it 9?
There's 102.
Oh, okay, 102
So,
counties. So,
a little bit less than half.
all right.
Yeah, I think the next closest one here is McDonough County. Each one of those, they're established the same way. It's by statute. It's kind of an interesting statute because while the county is required to basically fund us and take care of our employee side of it, the employees do work directly for the VAC board, which are delegates from each of those veteran service organizations. So it's a little bit strange. I always say that it was one of the very most interesting state statutes to me because to me it's written properly. It's veterans governing veterans, taking care of veterans.
Sure.
And I think that's unique. It's kind of apolitical, believe it or not. Even though I've been in politics for a long time, there are no politics involved in the selection process.
So are you putting together that board right now, or is that automatically each one of the different organizations automatically just place a person on the board?
They place a delegate and an alternate as soon as they petition to get the VACTA. Now they've been meeting relatively informally because we weren't, technically approved by the county or funded, and we won't be funded fully or have funds available to January 1st. But yes, the VAC board is been operating and trying to move forward for quite some time.
So where are your offices?
Right now we've been meeting at the Veterans Home, but our offices, we're working on that right now. We've got a couple different spots, but we've got it narrowed down to 1 or 2, and we hope to make that decision relatively soon. We talked about being in the courthouse, and Chairman Snyder was kind enough to find us some space, but he and us decided that it was going to be a little too small.
Gotcha.
So there really wasn't room available. So we'll have to go off site. But yeah, we should have that established. We should be able to make that announcement, I'm hoping, this week.
And how many people along with yourself are on the staff?
We are allocated 3 staff members full,
Okay.
including myself.
So you talked about the fact that you're helping these veterans get their benefits. That's a really simplified way of saying what it is you're here to do.
Absolutely.
Where'd they get that help in the past?
There are VSO officers, veteran service officers out at the Veterans Home that help with that. The organizations that I mentioned, part of their charter is that they do that as well, but they don't have any full-time staff to do that. So there's nobody to hold accountable for it. Like I said, probably the main place they've gotten it to this point has been at the Veterans Home. We hope to augment their efforts and expand on those.
So, I want to make sure I say this in the right way because I don't. But my question is, why is this commission necessary? It almost sounds like, is it a little redundant?
The short answer is no.
Okay.
And here's why I say that. While we do overlap in some of the services that we provide, the tying ourselves directly into the VA system and tying ourselves directly into the assistance community of Adams County. So we're going to be liaison with your medical community to make sure that we get the paperwork filled out properly on the medical side if they're going for benefits. I firmly believe that we will be liaison very closely or coordinated very closely with the General Assistance Office, with Two Rivers, with United Way, with all of those assistance organizations. We want to be the one-stop shop that when a veteran comes in, say, well, you know what, you don't qualify for this, but you may be able to get a little help over here.
Okay.
And the other side of it is because of my background in the industry that I've been involved with predominantly for most of my professional life, I realize that things like this are not 8-to-5 jobs. We also believe, because of recent events frankly in my life, I understand that when somebody needs help and it's an emergent situation, that's not going to wait till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
They're going to call you when they need you.
When they need you, and when they're ready to call and when they're ready to express that need, you have to be there to respond. And if you're not willing to do that, we don't need to open this thing.
Right.
And that's the thing. We will be 24/7, 365. If anybody that we hire on our staff decides that they don't want to be a part of that, we will find new staff.
Yeah. So I believe I've read in some other stories that we've published, and others have published, that the Adams County is home to more than 5,000 veterans.
That's the estimate, yes.
Of those 5,000, I know you're here to help provide benefits, but some are already receiving them,
absolutely.
correct?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
how many people, of that 5,000, how many people aren't getting the help they need?
Frankly, we don't know. This is going to be a learning curve, but we estimate it to be roughly in the a little bit less than half, maybe a little over half, somewhere in that area. The big thing that we feel that we can be a benefit to the county and to the economic environment in this county is that we believe that not only can we help people get benefits that they're entitled to that they're not getting, bringing those, if you want to call them disposable or spendable dollars into Adams County, but we can also help people upgrade their benefit package. And that's one thing that we're going to concentrate on as well.
But basically, you're just working with benefits. You're not going to be the type of organization that says, hey, I know there's a job opening out here, and we want to fill that with a veteran. That's not what you're doing.
No, we will. We will do all of that.
Would you do that all as well?
Yes, and we will also give direct aid. If somebody comes to us in an emergent situation, we have room in our budget. There'll also be a private side of our budget. That's we intend to go out and do some aggressive grant writing, things like that, to build up another, I don't want to call it off the books because it's not, but non-tax dollars that we can distribute to veterans in emergent need. So we will be helping folks with emergent situations. We will be helping them with long-term benefit situations, and we will be helping them with employment, mental health issues, medical issues, the whole gamut.
Okay, so this isn't just a benefit situation.
Absolutely
this is
not.
We're here. When it says Veterans Assistance Commission, assistance
is very broad.
Very broad.
Very
Okay.
broad.
All right.
Very broad. And it's going to be a challenge. I'll give you for an instance. We talked about us having 3 staff members. There's somebody that we've gone to as a resource up in the Decatur area, the superintendent of the VAC up there, and he smaller where he's at. It's a little bit smaller area than where the county's a little smaller. But he has a staff of himself, 3 paid staff members, and 10 regular volunteers almost on a daily basis.
Wow.
So
are you looking for volunteers as well?
We will be, yes. Yes, absolutely. And we plan to do, like I said before, some aggressive grant writing, some aggressive fundraising. We're going to look at fundraising a little bit differently because we don't want to take money away from our existing veteran service organizations. This is not to replace them, it's to help them. And so we're going to be very careful how we do that. But we definitely will be asking the public to be a participant in this.
Are you getting any federal help?
No.
Should you be getting federal help?
There's
a loaded question.
Yeah, there's a loaded question. Yeah, we're not really getting. There's no state dollars right now. All of our budget comes strictly from county coffers. So no, there's no state or federal dollars that fund this, but it is a state mandate. So it's one of those dreaded. As a former local government politician, the dreaded unfunded mandate terminology is definitely applies here. But the way I look at it is, I figured up on my tax bill it'd make a $10.75 difference last year. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But to answer your question more directly, no, there's no federal dollars involved. And do I think there should be? Yes. These folks have already earned this. It's not something we're giving them.
Right.
It's an earned benefit that, frankly, we owe them. I'm a veteran. I was fortunate enough not to serve during any type of conflict. But we have, like I said before, we've got guys, or I shouldn't say guys, we have people that took 13 years to get their full benefits. To me, that's completely unacceptable.
How can someone get in touch with you if they watch this and they go, yeah, I want to check on my benefits. I'm not sure I'm getting everything I'm supposed to be getting.
Well, that's kind of an interesting question right now. We are in the process of establishing our contact information. Right now, it's strictly me.
So you want to just put your personal cell phone out there for everyone to have?
I would prefer not to, David, but if we need to, we need to. But I am meeting with the county tomorrow. We're hoping to get a number established, some email addresses established. Right. And what I would ask is that when I get those, I would like to forward them back to Muddy River and get that attached to the story.
There you go. There you go.
So, but we're hoping to have all that decided tomorrow. And we want to start seeing people as soon as we can. January 2nd, if somebody wants to see us, we want to be there for them and be ready to roll.
Well, I guess on behalf of all veterans, thank you for what you're doing, and on behalf of everybody around here, thank you for your service as well.
Thank you. It was a pleasure and an honor.
That's all the time we have for today. You can catch this video and other videos like it on the Muddy River TV Plus tab at the top of our homepage.